I was in so much pain that they gave me morphine that I could push whenever I needed it. And I was in pain I had tears and crying and couldn't stop the pain. They said, Mr. Harris, if we go in, you may die because you're infected so bad. He said, but when you don't go in, you're going to die.
Right.
Because you're infected so bad. My sister went to this church, came out here from Vegas, went to this church in L.A., and she told him, said, my brother's real sick, can you go pray for him? And my sister, this guy came from this church, I never knew nothing about him, came to the hospital, he said, man, your sister said you were real sick, and all I want to do is pray with you. I said, okay, man, you know, I know about prayer. That man prayed for me. I cried like a baby. When he got through praying for me, I went to sleep, don't even know when he left. But when he left, I woke the next morning, didn't need no more morphine. I didn't feel no more pain. I had a doctor, white doctor, come in. He said, oh, Mr. Harris, how you feeling? I said, I feel good. He said, how's the morphine working? I said, I don't need it. I'm not hurting. He said, oh, you ain't use it? I said, no. So he called a nurse in. He said, what did you give Mr. Harris to stop his pain? He said, whatever you prescribe, doc. So he said, wait a minute, this ain't how this supposed to work. So he went and got an Asian doctor, the specialist. The specialist come in, they looking over my chart. They said, Mr. Harris, you don't have no more pain? I said, no, I don't have no more pain. They went and got a black doctor. And that's 3 doctors at the foot of my bed, and they talking and trying to figure it out. And he said, I said, a guy came in last night from my sister's church. You know, I'm hard. I'm a brother. I'm laying in bed. Yeah, a guy came in.
In a gang all hard.
Yeah, I'm trying to be hard. He came in and prayed for me. And when he prayed for me, I just, hey, I'm cool now. The man said, Mr. Harris, we can't figure this out. So the 2 specters, the white doctor and the Chinese doctor, left. The black doctor, he waited a little while. He said, man, he said, let me tell you something. He said, I see more people walk out of this hospital under prayer than I see do anything else. That doctor came in there 2 days later. He said, hey, he said, we're going to send you home with some antibiotics. You're going to come back in here. We're going to take you and do the surgery. They took me, gave me the surgery, disconnected my rectum, my butt, gave me a colostomy bag. I went home. They came back a month later, put me back together. He told my wife, he said, well, Miss Harris, he may be on a colostomy bag the rest of his life. My wife said, please don't. He's too vain for that. You know, I thought I was a pretty boy. Sweet Dick Willie. My daddy said, Sweet Dick Willie. He said, so the doctor said, you know, he may be. And they took me and disconnected me and put me back together. And I ain't had a problem using the bathroom since.
God is good, ain't
he? I mean, just showing you how the progressions of God took me. So when I asked God to take me off the street and out of drugs, I'm telling you the story when I got in front of the pulpit. God took me, man, and ran me around that church in a circle, crying. When I came back to my senses, my shoes was in front of the pulpit. I was in the back of the pulpit, in the back of the church, crying like a baby. And all the sisters was, praise son, let it out, let it out. So I'm thinking I'm delivered. I go home, about 2, 3, maybe a week, 2, 3 weeks later, I go back out in the street. So I get mad at God. I'm like, God, you can go to the devil. You told me, my mama told me if I delivered and got on my knees, I was gonna quit. My mother looked at me, she said, you cussing God if you want to. She said, but one thing that you don't get. He not gonna come when you want him. But he gonna be right on time. And man, it seemed like I was 1 week, no drugs. A month, no drugs. I go back and dibble a little bit, but the guilt would kill me.
Right.
So then I go another 2 or 3 months, no drugs. Then I looked, there was 6 months, no drugs. Then one day I said, damn, I ain't used no drugs in a whole year. Now I'm sitting there confused because I never saw the cleanup coming. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was so busy looking for the cleanup to be obvious and in my face.
Right.
And when I looked up, man, I think for the drugs that was of my choice, I got what, 15 years in clean, and I'm like, and I just started back to smoking weed. I think maybe 4 years ago.
Okay.
I tell you when I did. When I left the oil refinery, because see the oil refinery would do the random test on you, and I used to try to dibble. And one day I went to the oil refinery, and that motherfucker came and got me off of my job, and said, "We doing a random test." So I had this stuff called 2-hour block that you drink, and it's supposed to block the piss test. That man told me, "Leave your lunch bag." I said, "Oh man!" So I know I got the stuff in here. So they gave me a drug test and found that I had weed in my system. So I had just quit. I said, "Fuck it, I'm just done. I ain't gonna do nothing else." And I didn't do nothing else for I don't know how many years. And after I retired, I was like, let me, because I don't like to drink. I don't like to taste alcohol. So I said, let me go back to what I used to do in high school. I tried the weed, so it's about the only thing I really like to do. And but God is taking me down some roads, man, and brought me back and showed me some things that. See, sometimes you say, I believe in God, and everybody say I walk by faith, and they don't get it.
Right.
My wife is actually the one who showed me how to walk by faith. See, when we used to get under financial pressures and stuff, I would sit here and I'd try to fix it, and I'd go through and I'd go try to get it over there, try to get it over there, try to get it under the table, try
As
to
men,
get it.
that's what we do.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife, she would be like, "Baby, we done all we can. You done all you can." And she said, as long as you keep trying to go get it, God gonna let you go get it.
Mm.
He said, but as soon as you say, God, I've done all I can, and stop, he said, it's in your hands now. And this is the part where I tell everybody, God will tell you, you'll need $999. God will give you $900. And you say, well, God, I'm still short. And you walk outside and find the 99 cents on the ground. And everybody says luck and all these things, but if you just give him that praise and give him that blessing and let everybody know that he's the one.
Mm.
Ooh.
You all right?